It's a weekly breakdown!
Yay, what's up?
Tyler, Keith, Sam, the first of the year.
First of the year.
In February.
In February, yep. Well, the first one we were recording.
Yeah.
There might have been couple weird ones that we've recorded before, right? I don't know. What was the first video we did the anticipated?
The anticipated was a weekly breakdown thing. Okay. So I guess that
maybe.
Was the
but
first...
this is the first one we're recording this year.
Yeah.
A month in.
Yeah.
My God. Remember when this video series was actually weekly?
Actually weekly. I know.
I
know. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get back to something a little bit more consistent here. But I mean, there's some things that we're going to talk about. There's a lot of EA news, new games, all sorts of stuff. Anthem had some demos. Apex Legends is a video game that was announced and launched in a day.
Basically, yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about The Walking Dead and some musical stuff.
Activision, there's some drama going on in Activision.
Yeah.
Layoffs.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some EA news. So, I mean, a lot of different companies had their kind of financial reporting things happen. It's the end of the quarter and the third quarter for businesses. So a lot of news usually comes out of these, sometimes unannounced video games, actual earnings, and details on performance of certain games that already came out. So we learned some things about EA. Let's get into some of the new things that will be coming out from them. There's new Need for Speed and Plants vs. Zombies games coming out this year.
Okay.
The ones that everyone was asking for.
You know, I legitimately had the thought the other day when this article broke. When's the last time Need for Speed has been, like, legitimately good?
I was going to say relevant, too, but...
Well, the last one was okay to some people, but not good. But like
it was
a
game.
It also had the microtransactions that EA loves to have now.
Like Underground, right?
Need for Speed Underground or like Most Wanted.
Yeah,
like those are
Most Wanted was so good. I know there was a few on like the 360 generation that were all right, but it was a yearly franchise that wasn't always consistent yearly.
Yeah,
you know, it was like there was a handful that were good, but I feel like this generation specifically, Need for Speed has not had a single.
There's been two
game.
Need for Speed games.
Three.
There was one there was one that was like was it a PS4 game?
There was a launch game, Need for Speed Rivals, which that game was apparently okay, but I remember it had a lot of online connectivity issues when it launched. Mm-hmm. But then there was the just reboot Need for Speed with FMV cutscenes that was awful. Right. There was Need for Speed Payback, which was filled with microtransactions. Just make a good Need for Speed game. Actually, fuck Need for Speed, make Burnout.
Yeah, I don't think there's that much of a demand for Need for Speed anymore. Like a lot of old racing games, it's just like it's Forza. I mean, Gran Turismo had like sport, and there might be another Gran Turismo. Like, who even knows at this point?
I mean, Burnout makes sense. I mean, wasn't the remake or remaster they put out last year super popular? It came out like March last year, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Like apparently that was popular.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people want a new Burnout.
I know. I feel like there's not really too much of a demand for Need for Speed anymore because they kind of ran that franchise into the ground. So that's that. Apparently there will be a new premium Titanfall experience that will have a twist on the universe, whatever that means. Personally, I think it's a
robots pilot humans.
It's a robot.
I think it's a VR game.
Oh, probably. Yeah. That would make good sense.
I don't know.
Titanfall's in a weird place right now. I mean, we'll get to more about that in a second. But Titanfall's just in a.
Is Apex Legends has anything to do with the Titanfall
it's in that universe? It's in the Titanfall universe. Like that, and that's what I mean. Is like it's just in such a weird place. Yeah. But
yeah. So I don't really know what that means because. I mean, we'll talk about Apex Legends in more detail soon, but they confirmed that Titanfall 3 is not in development. Like, it's not a video game right now.
Which, in one hand, I can kind of understand because with how their track record has been lately, EA, especially since buying Respawn, has probably been like, telling Respawn to be like, you need to put all of your effort into this Star Wars game so that we can actually have one that is successful.
Maybe.
On a large scale. I mean, because both Battlefront games are, it's essentially failures.
Yeah, in different ways.
In different ways, but they're both. Maybe not. The second one more so. I would say the first one was just kind of lackluster.
It was rushed.
And then Star Wars: The Republic, and then a free-to-play game.
Yeah, they've made Battlefront games made money, but they did not. They're not critically well received, especially the second one.
Yeah.
I just Titanfall 3. I think it'll happen one day, and I hope it does, because Titanfall is fantastic, and I feel the franchise has never gotten a fair shake. Yeah. The first one was trapped on Xbox One. Great game, but it was on Xbox One.
Also trapped on 360. Like, it had to come out on 360 as well, so that kind of limited it.
Yeah, and it was on Xbox One when the Xbox One, there was clearly a gamble there that it was going to be more successful.
Wasn't it online only? Like the whole game?
Yeah. There wasn't a campaign.
Because there was no single player. The single player was like you play a bunch of multiplayer matches that are interconnected.
It did kind of get stuck behind that too for at least single player people.
Yeah. But then Titanfall 2 is a better game, but it slammed literally between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't sell well. It's like the game needs a fair shake because it can be something better.
Titanfall 2 is a great game.
Yeah,
super
that
fun.
campaign's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then they also reconfirmed, I guess you could say, that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be out this fall. And we have seen nothing of that game. I imagine we'll see something maybe like Star Wars Experience.
Yeah, it's like late April or
How long has that game been in development?
They announced I think we knew about it since 2016 or 17, yeah. It probably 2016.
And it's being, I know the director of God of War 3 is the head of this project. So
that's not good. I mean, it just doesn't look good.
I don't know.
You don't
it just seems like it's the EA method of doing things anymore, but
I mean, after they did that with like Mass Effect Andromeda, where they really weren't showing off that much of the game, I was like convincing myself like, it's Mass Effect. But then it was like the game came out and I realized like, there are a lot of issues. Like I realized why they weren't showing all that stuff off, and like they haven't shown off a lot from Anthem, and it's just when you're not showing off stuff in your game, you're not giving the customer information on the product they might buy. And it's just not a good look.
I mean, it's slightly off topic, and I won't try to deviate this too much. I mean, it's a lot of like what's going on at Bethesda right now. Bethesda's been one of those people who they don't hand out review copies until like the day before a game comes out or something like that. Or
they were doing that. I think they changed that.
But you look at that policy, and then you look at what happened with Fallout 76, and it's like, oof, that's
Yeah. In other EA financial news, apparently they had a kind of a rough third quarter and missed some sales projections. Battlefield 5 was specifically a game that missed its target. The game sold 7.3 million copies, putting it 1 million units below the company's expectations.
Which is bullshit.
They cited a few things. First was the game's month-long delay, which pushed it into the busier holiday season. That's fair. Wilson also pointed to prioritizing single-player content over Battlefield 5's still unreleased Battle Royale mode as a contributing factor to poor sales.
That's...
Now, there's a few things with this. One, Battlefield 5 wasn't incredibly well-received. Two, I feel like there was literally, even before it got delayed,
no hype
behind Battlefield 5. When I feel like there should have been.
Yeah.
It's a World War II game. There's, it should be cool. And I know they made some very, whether you agree with them or not, interesting decisions marketing-wise for the game. Some poor comments from Patrick Soderlund about the game that could have deterred some people. And then, they released November 20th. By then, everybody bought their video games that they were going to buy. And then the game was on sale literally half price, like 2 or 3 weeks later, which is insane. So I get that. But to me, and I don't run multi-billion-dollar businesses, obviously. I just find it insane that when you sell 7.3 million copies of a game and can't turn a profit, like, I just feel like there's something wrong with that. Personally,
I watched a very like informative video on this before. It wasn't too long ago, but one of the biggest, probably the biggest reason why companies like that will not turn a profit on games like that is because the budget for the games is so gigantic due to the marketing. Like, right. The marketing will take up like half to 3/4 of the budget. And they could slash that. They could slash that by a lot. Like, I've never watched an ad on YouTube where I'm like, I want to buy Battlefield 5 now. Like, right. I don't know. Like, they could be making so much more money without the massive amounts of marketing. But right. Also, I don't think they're wrong about what they're saying. I guess they're not wrong in that maybe they put too much focus on the single player as opposed to the multiplayer, but just the ramifications of hearing them say that means it's like
sucks.
Yeah, like, oh, they really don't value single player.
Yeah, and,
like,
which I get that.
They kind of half-assed it to begin with.
Yeah, it's like,
then it's like, oh, well, I mean, we tried. Like, no, you didn't. Give it a fair, like, make a serious thing, a serious attempt.
Yeah,
and then you'll see the return.
Yeah, my thing is, it seems to. I mean, they put out essentially an unfinished game if they're waiting to put out, like, you know, about the battle royale. Like, they put out an unfinished game.
That's part of it.
There were a number of features I think that weren't available at launch.
So, like, that's like the main issue. And I said this during my
live service.
I said this during my show on Thursday because we talked about EA and whatnot. And I'm almost at the point where it's like when EA is like, yeah, we're wasting our time making single player campaigns, and I'm like, yeah, you are. Make the games you want at this point. You know, who knows? Maybe you would have had the battle royale and the multiplayer would be better if you didn't, you know, force a single player.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, like the Call of Duty did great.
Like Black Ops 4
but it's like,
the best it's
but
been
then
in a long time.
On the flip side of that, they're using a weird metric. Like they reference. Like, I saw other people saying, like, oh yeah, and then there's talks that they're saying, like, yeah, look what happened with Titanfall 2. Like we said, look what happened with this game. Look what happened with Battlefront 2. And I'm like, Battlefront 2 wasn't bad. It didn't fail because of its single player. It failed for much more serious reasons. Titanfall 2, yeah, you put it out again in between Battlefield and Call of Duty. It's like you're just reaffirming your own bias by just, like, doing this. And it's like, you don't want single player games, so you cancel that Visceral Games studio and shut the studio down. You don't want to have an open world game because they take too long. And I'm like, good God, man.
It's almost like I could just imagine them saying, like, Mass Effect Andromeda didn't really work out, so we might not make any more Mass Effect games. Well, it's because there were so many people pulled from different studios. Like, it's almost like they're pointing out mistakes that they made and like, well, yeah, this is why it didn't work out. Yeah, but there's mistakes that you made. Like, you're responsible for a lot of this stuff, and it's like they're pointing at it like, well, yeah, this is what happens. Like, yeah, that's what happens when I don't know.
It's just a weird situation because I'm like, no, like you're only talking half about what's actually happening here.
Yeah, what's the word for that when people do that? Like
they spin it. They're spinning it. They're creating a narrative.
There's like a phrase for it or something. I don't know. Yeah. Straw man argument or something.
Yeah,
they set up their own thing and then it's like, oh yeah, there.
It's just kind of ridiculous management, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and it's like it's also just like everything seems rushed because I mean,
absolutely.
Which comes into our next 2 points of the Apex Legends and Anthem, which is a weird thing. Like,
well, yeah, I with Battlefield though, I do worry about DICE because, and I know they have 2 studios, but this is now 2 games in a row from DICE where they failed to meet EA's internal sales expectations. Battlefront 2 for good reason. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
What happened with that game? But now Battlefield 5 didn't land where it should have. I just feel like DICE is so overworked at this point that EA needs to seriously hold up a little bit. Do what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed. I mean, look how successful that's been for them.
Yeah.
Where they literally just said, fuck it, we're not doing an Assassin's Creed for a year. You know, and they took a year off.
And they're going to do it again. Like,
Origins
like,
and Odyssey are two of the most successful games, if not the most successful games in the entire franchise. Like, just take a year off. Let these teams build a little bit more.
Like, substantial.
It's ridiculous. Like, because, I mean, you have a third project that's failed internally to them.
If you could just, like, imagine what, like, DICE and Bioware, all these companies could be, like, firing on all cylinders. Like, especially DICE with, like, the Frostbite engine is insane. Like,
yeah.
If there's any consistency with, like, the Battlefield or Battlefront games, like, they sound great. It's, like, visually stunning. Like, from that kind of perspective, it's, like, they're awesome. Imagine if they just, like, got some shit together. Like, they would be putting out, like, insanely... Like, they have the Star Wars license, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like they could be putting out such great games, but EA is just so fucking greedy.
Yeah. Also, I love, like... I feel like almost every highly... Not every, but a good chunk of the best-selling single-player games recently have been incredible.
Yeah.
And they sell incredibly fucking well. God of War, Spider-Man, Resident Evil 2 just sold a few million copies. Kingdom Hearts 3 has shipped 5 million copies at launch.
Red
Dead Redemption 2 has sold 23 million copies already.
Even the Assassin's Creed sold a lot.
Yes. Like, it's so funny that EA's just like single player isn't where it's at in video games anymore. Yet it's just case after case after case.
But you know what happens
that
in
is
there?
Successful.
They put the time and the effort into those single player games, and that's why they do good.
I mean, you even look at like maybe outside of Red Dead 2. I would say even more so than Red Dead 2. The most anticipated game maybe since GTA 5. I would even maybe say more than that. Cyberpunk. It's like one of the most anticipated games that I could ever remember. I mean, there are only a few games I could put up there, and that's single player. Yeah. Like, even the game, like Last of Us Part 2, games coming out are like...
I mean, a lot of the most anticipated games
Metro Exodus is looking like a really solid game. Meanwhile, Anthem looks like...
Anthem's interesting. You know? It's but the other thing is, too, is like, multiplayer is not the answer. You know, a lot of games you just shoehorn multiplayer in. Multiplayer sucks. Look at God of War Ascension. Look at Batman Arkham Origins. I mean, I enjoyed it, but honestly, look at the Assassin's Creed multiplayer. Mm-hmm. Like, they suck, in all honesty, because they didn't want to put the effort in. And it's like, it's just the effort. That's all it is.
Or you do what Activision did with Black Ops 4 and just say, fuck it, we're not doing single player at all. We're putting all of our eggs into multiplayer, into battle royale, into cooperative experiences.
It worked.
Paid off for them. Yeah. You know? It's just kind of ridiculous. So basically, EA said that they are banking on Anthem and Apex Legends being successes for them to finish out the year. So let's get into it. Apex Legends launched. This is the new title from Respawn, set in the Titanfall universe. It's a battle royale game. It's free to play.
Yep. 60 player, so it's not 100 player.
60 player.
Are there like microtransactions or anything?
Yes. So, but I think outside of the two characters, which you can get just by playing,
you can earn everything just by playing the game.
Yeah, you can. It's a lot like Overwatch. So you level up, you get a loot box. And then in those loot boxes are skins, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing besides the two characters, which I don't think are...
Well, you get coins after like
correct,
stuff too, so
but the two characters aren't game breaking if you don't have them.
Yeah. They're cool. I mean, I don't have them, but...
Right. And so I don't think that's the biggest deal. I think they're totally fair with how they're doing it. They even tell you the rates. The loot box rates.
Yeah, like gives up what you get. You might get an epic
fair
thing.
as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the game's free, so there has to be a way to fund it. So yeah, they launched it 23-player squads on the map. I think this is a pretty damn good video game. I keep going back and forth whether I like Blackout or this more right now. I think I need to play Apex Legends a little bit more, but Apex Legends does so many smart things. For one, the squad thing is really interesting. So you each choose a hero. All the heroes have ultimate abilities and different other abilities that you can use.
Yeah.
Which then you can mix and match with your teammates. So that's cool. The jumping mechanic, where someone is the designated jump master, they call it. You can suggest stuff, but basically you're all landing in the same spot.
Unless like you choose to, you can choose to break off, but it's like if you want, you can just be like, okay, we're all going to the same place.
I think the whole pinging system is fucking rad too.
Yeah.
So basically, you can look at armor, weapons, enemies, locations, anything, and just press R1 and ping the item, and it's like, oh yeah, armor's over here for you.
And everybody else can see it, like on your squad. It's like, hey, look, there's a guy up there.
Or like, hey, I really need an assault rifle. I don't have anything. Ping right there. I found one for you.
Yeah.
You know exactly where it's at. Like, and that, because the game you can only play it in teams. So if you are a solo player, that's just such an effective way to communicate, because most people aren't going to have mics.
Yeah, most people don't want to use mics in public lobbies, because we've learned better. We've evolved from such a place.
Right. So take like the gameplay feel. The shooting feels very similar to Titanfall.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's a good thing. So it does feel good. No wall running, no Titans.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know how. Maybe I can maybe see the wall running. The wall running would have been super interesting to see how they incorporate that into a battle royale.
I
understand that
talking about it. That
I understand Titans. Though.
Yeah,
like,
I wonder if there will be a character down the road where
they can wall run, or
yeah. I don't know. Maybe this whole Titanfall experience is a Titanfall battle royale. 25 Titans just fly down and all fight each other.
They kind of have they already have. They kind of have a Titan game mode, Titanfall game mode. Last Titan standing.
But make it bigger.
Just make it bigger. There's more Titans.
I think the map's neat.
I do too.
For sure.
It's unique. Like it's probably the one thing that I think, at least to my mind, that both Blackout and Fortnite have over games like PUBG is that the map's interesting, and there's like actual interesting areas, like. You know, and there's like giant dinosaur bones, or you can jump on the dropship.
Oh, the dropship is so funny. We had a match where there's this. So you jump out of the dropship, and there's another dropship, and you can land on this dropship. And we landed on it, and it's like landing at Tilted Towers in Fortnite, or
there's any high populated area because it has all the best stuff.
Yes. So everybody's there, and we land there. I couldn't find a weapon. Our buddy Frank found a weapon, took a dude out, but he's out of ammo, getting shot at. You were running around, but you weren't with us.
Yeah.
I went down, and Frank comes over, and he's just like, fuck it. And he goes and picks me up, and there's this glitch where the ship keeps going, but we don't go with the ship. So we're literally floating over the map and just in midair. So that saved us. And then we're yelling at you, just jump off. Because there's no fall damage. Then we all reconvene when we all fall to the ground, but then everybody else jumps down too. It was something else.
This game has the weirdest thing where you can, there's 20 teams, and then the first circle's not even done, and it's like, boom, half the people are gone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's happening here? Like, it's fun. I've only played it the one night, but that you and Frank played it. But I mean, the one thing which is I know most people don't look at it, but I also, just because again EA is just in a very worrisome position right now. I wonder if like it's just dropping out of nowhere. I wonder if that's just like a there's
a few things that I've read about it. One, Respawn, the producer of the game, said that Respawn actually really had to pitch EA on this game. And he said he had to go to a bunch of executives at EA because they didn't really know what it was or why they needed it, sort of thing.
Okay.
And then two, they said releasing it out of nowhere is the best thing they could have done, because imagine if they did announce it and they're like, new Battle Royale in the Titanfall universe, and they had like a couple month marketing campaign leading up to it. What would be the conversation? Where's Titanfall 3? Why isn't there wall running? Why isn't there Titans?
I guess that makes sense.
It would have just like kind of deflated the launch of it. And they're like, the best way for us to tell you about this game is for you to just play it. So we're going to put it out for free, and we're going to tell you about it the day that's
I bet you EA wasn't on board with that free title that they got on.
Yeah, I do wonder about that.
Like if it's like if they were like, no, charge them $40, and then also it's it's like a microtransaction.
Watch this game be like super successful, and it's like the opposite of what EA would do.
I think it could be. But also I could see EA being like, let's get our grubby fingers on it.
Yeah, like not a giant marketing campaign that totally ruins that totally ruins the profit for the game. It's free. It's like everything that EA hates. Yeah. And I want this game to be successful because of that.
They had 10 million players in 3 days.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
The only thing is that I hope that that there isn't any sort of thing where EA is like, man, we don't need a Titanfall 3. We got this game. That'd be the only thing that sucks. Yeah. Just because, if this game is successful, it's EA. More so than any other company, I could see it happening.
Is there any kind of like battle pass sort of thing with this game?
They did announce what their support is, so I think it's every 3 months. They're doing like seasons. One season there's going to be like new loot, they called it. Another one is going to be new heroes. And I forget what the other one was. And then they did say, I think it's March, they're putting in like a battle pass sort of thing.
Which is fine, because objectively, even though the game's sort of, I don't know. I've lost interest in the game. The Fortnite battle pass system, it does work.
Oh yeah.
You can just play the game and then you can get a battle pass, and as long as you play the game enough, you never have to sink any money into it.
Yeah.
That's what this game needs. Like, just reward people for playing your game, not
I think one thing that I just like this about Apex Legends over Blackout is just the progression system. Like, it's not a new progression system. You level up, you get a loot box.
Yeah.
We've seen that before in a lot of games. Overwatch is a great example of that. But, you level up based off of how long you survived, how many kills you got, if you revived people, all sorts of stuff. Whereas Blackout, like, you have to complete challenges. You have to get kills or finish in the top 10 or win the match. Like, it's so fucking hard to level up in that game. Whereas this, it's just, you kind of level up a little bit more naturally.
Yeah, like I think I got a total of 2 kills the whole night, and I'm like I'm leveling up still steadily. So it's like
I probably have a total of maybe 10 kills, and I'm at like level 8.
Oh, okay.
So, I think it's fine. I just find it funny. I think one of the matches I played today, I was level 8, and the other 2 guys were 5 and 6, I think, and they're probably like, "Oh, this guy's level 8. He's probably pretty all right."
What'd you do?
I'm probably the worst one there.
I was gonna say, what'd you do?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I punched some player in the back of the head.
Oh yeah, right. You were telling me about that.
It was so funny. We took out 2 of their people. They took out 2 of mine, and I don't know why the person stopped shooting at me. I don't know if they didn't see me. We were looking right at each other. I had no ammo. They start running away, and I just follow them, and I'm sprinting, and then I just go, bam! Punch them straight in the back of the head, and they're dead. I'm like, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
It's a cool game. I can see myself playing a lot more of it.
Yeah, I got one more time into it, but I'm enjoying it, what I have played.
Let's talk about Anthem. I didn't get to play the open demo to public. I only got to play the VIP demo, and that had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So I know you guys got to play it.
I think to me, I'll see about because I think you played a bit more than I did. You basically ran through all the stuff with me again after you already went through all the stuff. The only thing is, which I hope it's not in the actual game, it just seemed like there was a lot of loading screens. Sometimes even in the middle of missions, and I'm like, no,
come on. You go into a new area, even if it's like for a couple of seconds, so like loads into the area.
Or it's not like when Destiny does it, it's like not that big of a deal. It's just like a little quick thing. It's just loading, and maybe you float in the air for like 15 seconds. This was like you're in there for a minute, and I'm like, oh, no. Yeah. And it's like the stuff like that just kind of takes you out of it. I enjoyed it. Like, the gameplay itself is fun. If not, I think in some ways very shallow. That's like the only thing is that like it's sort of the problem. It's still sort of the problem with Destiny. So maybe this isn't a fair criticism for me to say. So I'll completely accept all accusations of being a hypocrite here. But it's like just doing, the mission variety did not seem that great. Nor did granted it's a demo. Nor the locations and what you were doing, and it's like, well, again, demo, so I can't say too much, but I just felt like I was fighting the same kind of enemies and doing the same thing a lot of the time, and it was just, I don't know. Also, the game was like, this is a demo. Like, to me, a demo is like, here, we're going to give you a section of the finished game. This is like alpha build? I'm like, this.
Yeah.
It's like totally different.
Alpha, like 3 weeks out.
I'm like, oh, God, this does not seem good.
Apparently what they did is at some point in time, they literally broke this off and kept making a game, and then they did this, so this is like a totally different thing. I'm like, that's kind of dumb, because correct me if I'm wrong, I thought the Destiny demo like literally is the game.
Yeah, like they let you play like all of the like Earth, because I remember I played the demo before I got the game. They let me play like all the Earth stuff of like the finished game.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, this is good. I bought the game.
I'm sure they learned a lot from the demo, but I would imagine you'd want to test the full thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
At least a chunk of it.
Like, when people do... I've heard, like, a lot of people be like, well, it is a demo, like you were saying. But to me, a demo is, like, literally a demonstration of the game.
Yeah.
And if this is what you're demonstrating for the game, this is what you're allowing people to play, this is what people have to expect. Like, you just... Yeah. You have no choice,
And it needs to work because...
Yeah.
In my case, I got the infinite loading thing twice. I got it literally the first thing I tried to hop into, and then I jumped back in. I was in the middle of a mission. I had no clue how to play the fucking game. Once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, I can see where this could be enjoyable. And then we finished the mission, and then I literally got all my experience, and then loaded infinitely again, and I closed it, and I said, okay.
Yeah, that happened to me. I had like an hour to play the VIP demo, and then I had to infinitely load it. I'm like, all right, looks like I'm not doing this.
That could totally turn someone off that might have been fucking hyped for this game. I know it's a demo. It's not the exact product.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, that's just not a good thing to have.
This is what they put out for people to play.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like even if
I kind of got past that point of like, oh, well, it's just a demo. Like, this is what you gave people to play. Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is your sample of the game that you're giving everyone. And if your sample shit, like you're walking around like Costco or something, and someone's like, "Here, try my beans," and you try the beans, and the beans are fucking shit. You're not gonna buy the beans.
You're not gonna buy the beans.
Like, I'm not gonna believe you that the beans are fucking different straight out of the can. So fuck you.
That's
bitch.
a very good analogy. I really like that analogy.
So like, I went through and I played a lot of the stuff. One, I think it's complete dumb fuck horse rat shit. That anyone playing the game, unless you play the VIP demo, and then they're like, oh, because that was such a shit show, we'll allow you to play all of the javelins in the open demo. For anyone just coming into the open demo, nope, you play through the whole thing, and then you can unlock one. I want to play through all of them. I want to know, I want to experience what you have to offer. But no, we're going to block you to like one extra javelin. I picked Storm. Like, Storm was okay. I wanted to play Interceptor. Well, no, you can't do that. That to me is just... stupid. Other things in the game, like putting in things in the hub in Fort Tarsus, like there are icons that will show up on the map for like different things. You go to it, not available in the game. Go to this, not available, only available in the full game. Only available in the full game. Only available in the full game. Like, why do you put any of this shit in there? And then, some of the things like the amount of like bugs and dumb shit in the game, like I would go in to the forge where you can edit your javelin, like equip different weapons and stuff.
Make it as ugly as possible.
You can't equip weapons out in the fucking world, which is dumb to me. Like, you have to set your weapons before you go out on a mission.
Really?
Yeah. It's just fucking stupid to me.
I didn't know that.
That's crazy. And then, like, if you go in, you're editing the appearance of your javelin. If you edit for more than, like, 5 minutes or something, like, you're just taking your time, trying out different materials, different colors, and then you try to switch to your other javelin, the game will crash. Yeah. Without fail, every time that I did it, like, I would just be editing. I'm like, all right, I kind of like the look of this. Let me switch to my other javelin and see if I like the look of that. Crash. And I go back in, I'll be like, oh, all right. And there was one time where I went to, like, make sure that my ranger had the right paint or whatever, because I would get out of the forge and I would go up to the javelin and be like, oh, I didn't have red on it, so I have to go back in and look at, okay, everything's right, and I back out, and then it looked right. Like, because it wouldn't translate. It was so buggy. Yeah. Like, just crash after crash after crash. The one time in the demo that I was legitimately having fun. I don't know if you were. You were kind of tired. We were doing the
Yeah, I was. I might have been tired by that. But it was
Stronghold,
like 12:30. It was, yeah.
And the two people were playing with weren't that good.
Well, the Stronghold was just, like I was tired, but I was having fun.
But still, I mean, so. I was having a buttload of fun because I had played on easy before, just because I just want to play through it just to see what it was like.
Oh, I know.
And then we played on normal, and there was like a little bit more of a challenge, and we're like the last area with the boss, and I was like getting into it. I was like, all right, this is what this game is. I'm legitimately having fun. Like it was sort of swaying me. Out of nowhere, fucking loading screen. I was like, did you get a loading screen? He's like, yeah. I'm like. Then the game then we start back at Fort Tarsus. I'm like in the middle. So I'm just like, fuck that. There are so many issues. Why am I supposed to believe that like 3 weeks out from this game launching,
it's going to be any different?
Yeah, and the whole thing, the biggest takeaway that I had from the demo is
they don't care enough.
It's about the game, but it's not even like it definitely pertains to this game, but it's bigger than just this game, but like I, as a consumer, need to know what I'm buying before I buy it. Like, I need to understand it. And I'm looking back at Anthem, I'm like, they really haven't told me about, like, the enemies. Or they've given, like, bits and pieces, like, vague descriptions of the world and what's going on. But I'm like, give me, like, videos on the Anthem YouTube channel of, like, character bios, like this is this character, and you kind of show them off, and you're like, this is my personality, this is my backstory, the enemies, these are what they're like, or whatever else. But they didn't do that. I'm like, I still don't understand so much about this world. So when I'm playing through the demo, and like the sort of mission, the story, like the thing revolving around what we're doing is this guy who's looking for this thing that ends up splitting him into like 3 different people, clones of himself or whatever, like the different personalities of himself. I'm like, I don't understand any of this. Like, I don't get it. There's no backstory for me to be like, oh, okay, so I just don't fucking. This whole thing, the Anthem of creation, is a complete mystery. Like, I don't understand it. So, like, all the marketing and everything behind this game, it's like, I just want to know what I'm buying. I feel like as a consumer, I have the right to information about the game. And over the course of this whole fucking development of the game, I haven't gotten the information I need.
Yeah.
And then in playing the demo on top of that, it just felt insulting. That's like, we're not going to tell you anything, but we're going to give you this thing to play that doesn't work half the time. So I came away from it so, like, discouraged from playing the game. Like, so hopeful that the game works, and I kind of, like, there's part of me that wants to play it. It's sort of like games like Destiny, and this game definitely do it. It's like, I understand the amount of, like, I don't know what the budget is for this game, but I know Destiny had, like, a huge budget and a lot of, like, pressure behind it. So you have to, like, make the game sort of as safe as possible. Like, mission design is basic, to say the least, because they don't want it to be terrible. But, so there's that sort of thing that it's digestible. It's so digestible that I'm like, I could play this could be alright. But at the same time, there's so much shit that I don't like. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get it unless maybe it's on sale. I'm definitely not getting it at launch.
Yeah, I want it
to be good. I really want Bioware to make a great game, but it's just like, even playing it, it didn't really feel like a Bioware game to me.
Yeah, I mean...
And the whole like, you know, bringing Casey Hudson back and everything they've said about the game is like, this is a Bioware game. At its core, it's a Bioware game. I'm like, how? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the game. I don't know. Yeah, that's sort of my thing. Is that there just doesn't seem to be, at least definitely concerning the demo, there doesn't seem to be as much care involved in a lot of ways. And again, like you said, I'm definitely probably not gonna get it. I mean, if it gets golden reviews, if it gets like golden reviews, if this is like not multiple outlets are saying this
6 months from now when they fix everything,
this game is worth it, maybe. But like, I don't see myself getting it at launch. And also, like, the stuff came out, like some stuff came out about the end game content about this game, which is apparently it's very shallow. Like, there's very little to the end game, and I'm like, oh, you're breaking me. I mean, that was the whole problem with Destiny 1. It's like, you get to do the raid, and then you do the raid, and it's like, yep, there you go. You can do the raid a couple more times, maybe get a good gun, and it's like, Oh no! Like I don't know. It just seems like there's bad news on top of bad news on top of bad news. This game feels like it shouldn't come out yet.
Yeah.
That like, and it's sort of what I was alluding to earlier. It needs
another year.
What I was alluding to earlier is that like EA is like they're like running scared, and that's why like, you know, maybe that's why like if they were hesitant on the Apex Legends, they're like, okay, put this out. We need to have something. We need to find a way to, you know, turn things around. Anthem has to come out now. Like this, you know, Battlefront 2 was a failure. Battlefield 5, you know, at least in their eyes, was a failure. You know, things haven't been going well. We need to turn this ship around. Andromeda, failure, sort of to say the least. So I mean, it's just like
I'm just kind of waiting on like the Jason Schreier story about this game's development that's gonna come out eventually, because I know this whole development had to be just fucked. Like I wish this game would be really good. There are parts of it that I do like kind of like Andromeda. The combat was really good. I think Andromeda had like there were moments in the story that were solid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know. With Anthem, combat feels kind of fun at times. Like it's when shit's really like going crazy, it's solid. I just don't know, like, you know, what's the game gonna be?
I feel like Anthem to me, even though I also had like a lot of fun, but Anthem was the most fun when you had like your power fantasy, where it's like I have all my abilities and I'm wrecking everything.
I do like.
And then
that
it's like,
part of the
and
game,
then it's like, but then you use them all, and then you don't have abilities for a while, and it's like, oh man, this is a little bit more rough to deal with, and then it's like, oh, I got, you know, playing as the Goliath, the
Colossus.
I'm like, I got my shoulder cannon again.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good. I'm just like, well, okay, now it's just back to this gun. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Even the abilities do seem very shallow in what they are. You know, like each class sort of has like, the ranger is like a grenade, and what was the other thing? Like a grenade, and then there was another ability I can't remember, and then there was sort of like a shield sort of thing. But I don't know. It just didn't feel like there was a super huge
Hopefully there's like
things.
I mean, hopefully eventually if this game they put out new javelins, I mean that would make sense. Or you could swap out abilities. Like it seemed like there was like you could do that from the screens I looked at. But
they just need to add body to it. That's the thing that I'm worried about. But
we'll see. I do remember that E3 demo though. The first one. Man, it was awesome.
Where it was like, oh wow, look at that! Like the tracking, like the missiles came out, and it's tracking and everything.
And I'm like, I mean, the demo seems like I'm like, okay, that wasn't a complete, you know, lie, but it's also like you're also not showing me. You're not showing me things. I think there's a reason you're not showing me things, and it scares me.
I do wonder on it. Like, part of me is like, man, I really do want to get this game at launch because I just want to play it. I want to get into it, but then part of me is like, no, the smart thing is to just wait just a little bit to see how it launches. If it launches well, you know, all that stuff. So I don't think I'll get it at launch, but eventually.
Yeah, I would like to maybe get it eventually.
I'm too curious about it to kind of not play it at least at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? Take $15, $20 off, maybe have it be fixed a little bit.
Yeah.
That could be a fine time.
I mean, especially like for me with a game like Metro Exodus coming out that I actually really, really want to get. Mm-hmm. This Anthem just doesn't seem like it's on the table right now.
Yeah, and I mean,
I still have to finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Me too. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Red Dead.
You know,
I still need to finish a couple other games that I bought that I haven't started, like Shadow of War, which I kind of want to play, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because because I got those games, and
and also this is just for me, like, I mean, I still have a decent amount of time to play video games, but you know, I have less time than I did, and it's hard for someone to keep up with all of these live service games. And to me, you almost just got to pick one. And to me, that one's Destiny 2. Like, I'd rather play Destiny 2 if I have to pick a live service video game, you know?
Yeah. Destiny 2's, you know what it is. You know how Bungie works, and it's
I have Destiny 2, and maybe now I have maybe Apex Legends. It's like my Battle Royale fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then occasionally dip into a few other games, but then otherwise it's
just hard to keep up with all these games, and I guess that leads us to our last video game story for the week, which is kind of a sad one. Activision Blizzard are going to have mass layoffs. Will result in hundreds of lost jobs, apparently.
They're in such a weird
Does this have
place.
anything to do with, like, Destiny?
It has to do with, like...
I
think the only game it's been... And even then, apparently Black Ops wasn't as successful as they wanted. Again, like we say, like Black Ops 4 was successful. Apparently, it wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be. And
I don't see how it was second best-selling video game of the year. And
it's still could fall short of what they want.
Yeah, I mean,
but
what? The Destiny was the best-selling game of like what?
Well, there's just some things in here that will probably lead to some points.
Hey,
sources tell us that the layoffs will come from different parts of the company, including Blizzard, though it's not clear what parts of the studio will be affected. At the end of 2017, Activision employed 9,800 people.
Oh,
woo! The news comes after a rocky few months for Activision. While Call of Duty has been performing well, some things like the split with Bungie, Forsaken not meeting sales expectations, and flat numbers for Overwatch resulted in a weaker price for Activision stock, which declined nearly 2.5% today. I think, Call of Duty is a tricky one because you have the second best-selling game of the year that was beat by a fucking pubic hair by Red Dead Redemption 2. You know what I mean? So that was just tricky. But to your point, like Call of Duty is really the only major successful thing that I feel Activision has had.
Yeah,
like what did Blizzard do this year? I mean, they launched Diablo 3 on Switch, which I'm sure did all right, but
I mean, Blizzard's. I mean, I don't understand why, but Blizzard's lost a little bit of goodwill with that whole Diablo mobile game thing. And
they did launch a new World of Warcraft expansion, which I'm sure is successful, but like every WoW expansion, I'm sure everybody plows through everything and then bounces.
Yeah, Overwatch is really plateaued, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, to me, with Overwatch, I love the game a lot still. I mean, when we played it, 2-3 weeks ago, playing Capture Flag, that was a damn good time. You know, that was the first time we all three played together in a while. And but to me, there's a few things with it, like new characters, cool, new maps, cool, but that can only take you so far.
Yeah.
To me, all of these seasonal events that they're doing are the same fucking shit.
Yeah, they are.
Which at this point, it's the third or fourth time we've seen a lot of these things. Like it's not that exciting anymore.
No.
Nobody's going to come back to it. The skins aren't enough to entice people to come back to it. The first 2 times you do an event, I think that's the sweet spot. After that, you got to figure something out. Because the first time, it's really exciting.
And second
it's
time,
something brand new.
Second time, it's like, oh, I remember doing this last year.
Yeah.
Exactly. So at this point, they need new events to draw people in. Maybe a new game mode. I don't fucking know.
Definitely a new game mode.
Just something other than the typical cycle that they've been going through.
I know it's a recent thing, so it probably doesn't fix the whole thing, but I know like Blizzard has a new head who like is a bit more of like an Activision guy than a Blizzard guy, like who's more money focused than making a quality game focus. Which who knows, maybe that was something. Maybe it's like, hey, we'll put out the same events and then we'll figure something out. And now it's just like.
And I know Heroes of the Storm has fallen off a little bit. I mean, they canceled their entire esports thing.
Yeah.
As well, Blizzard needs some new. Needs some new excitement.
Needs like a new game or new mainstream game to bolster it.
I just wonder. I mean, it's slightly off topic, but I wonder how the Diablo Immortal announcement really kind of made a lot of people mad.
Oh yeah.
At BlizzCon, I wonder how successful BlizzCon. Wow, I can't
That's
speak.
a tall thing to say.
Dude, this day has been fucking awful in terms of speech.
It's been a flub day.
I wonder how BlizzCon is going to be this coming year in terms of reception, attendance, all that stuff. But
you almost feel like, because I assume it's in development. Like you almost feel like they sort of have to be like, hey, Diablo 4.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff sucks. I mean,
earlier when you said living up.
Right. I forgot about that.
I just remembered that. Yeah, sorry.
It sucks for anybody to lose their job. It sucks for hundreds of people to be laid off. And it sucks. To me, it comes off a little differently with a company like Activision because they are so in your face about greed and money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it hurts a little bit more to have to lay all these people off because it's like all you fucking care about is making all the money, not some of the money, all the money.
Like their fucking patent that they had from like 2 years ago about microtransaction.
And they gave like their new one of the new executives like a $15 million bonus to like do certain things, and all these top executives get paid so much money, like 300 times more than some of the employees. It's like it's fucking that stuff's just a little. It's America, you know.
Yeah,
it's
very
disgusting.
American.
They haven't had a major success. Blizzard hasn't. Activision only had Black Ops in their eyes. Destiny 2 Forsaken successful, but not successful enough to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just because Activision. I mean, it's the thing of Activision backs the horse that makes money. You know, and that was Tony Hawk. Yeah, it was a Tony Hawk game. When that was Guitar Hero, it was Guitar Hero, and you know it's been Call of Duty forever. And I mean, I guess it still is because I mean, Call of Duty is the only thing that's been working out. But I just feel like they're just so they don't. I mean, they haven't made a Crash game because Crash games haven't been successful in forever. You know what I mean? Or like their new series of Crash games. I mean, the Insane Trilogy just came out. It's like, you know, they're so like we only got to do stuff that makes money, and it's like if you don't take a gamble, you know,
right. You know what their gamble is, and I keep forgetting about this, and it shocks me. From Software's Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is an Activision game.
Oh wow!
It's being published by Activision, which I'm like, why?
I mean,
that game's going to be successful, but not to Activision's standards.
yeah. I guess I was gonna say,
you know,
I mean, maybe if it's got like that Activision,
it's going to make some
Activision
money.
Marketing money, but like, I mean, it's from Software. It's that's gonna be weird because
it'll sell a few million copies, but it won't sell all of the few million copies.
It won't sell. I want every household in America to have one copy of.
Yeah.
Sakura.
I just wonder because I feel like some of these the major AAA studios and publishers, like the growth in terms of the amount of money the industry's making has been insane the past few years. Like I just wonder how sustainable that is.
I don't know if it is.
How sustainable of a growth
just look
that is, because now we're at this point where one of the top dogs has to lay off hundreds of people, and that sucks.
I mean, just look at. I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, we were talking about EA. EA is, you know, I mean, granted, I think, sort of a very much a similar boat to Activision. You know, we're both Bethesda's in a lot of hot water right now with what's been happening with Fallout 76.
The only
Sony
successful
and Microsoft are doing all right. It seems.
Yeah, Nintendo's doing great.
Nintendo's
too.
great. I mean, also, like
first party's doing pretty
slightly
well.
off topic, but like the whole Gearbox has had their was it Gearbox with the dude who's
Randy Pitchfork?
Yeah, like it's just man, it's just it's a weird fucking time, man.
Yeah, Take-Two's like the only one that reported like, hey, we made a lot of money.
Yeah,
because of Red Dead.
Because you got fucking Red Dead.
Because of Red Dead. GTA Online and NBA 2K19, which apparently keeps selling more and more copies every year.
Some fucking hell, I don't understand.
Just fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, Sony. Well, like I've heard some like Corey Barlog talking about Sony, how they're just like, yeah, man, take all the time you need. Like, of course we got to make money and everything. We got to have the game out by a certain time, but it's like, yeah, take your time. Like,
yeah,
the Sony seems to be treating people so well. Like, Microsoft is bringing all these different, like, they're buying up all these different developers and things. Like, getting some games made. Nintendo is doing as good as they've been in a long time. Honestly, Nintendo really has I think it's a bit understated how they've really turned around their reputation a lot.
Oh yeah, like
the Switch has sold 32 million units, which is about to pass the N64.
Nice. Fuck right.
Let's go out and buy some N64s. Really good trajectory. I'll let that happen. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
I saw the dumbest fucking article on IGN this week. It said Nintendo has more unannounced Switch games for 2019.
Yeah, you know shit.
It's like
they don't announce games. They don't announce games like unless they're coming out in like a year.
Like no fucking shit. It's February. Like what?
I bet you they'll announce like 3 when there's a surprise Nintendo Direct like yesterday. They didn't tell anybody about it, and it happened yesterday.
This has been the longest drought in between directs
Nintendo
has ever had.
November was the last one?
No.
November or December?
Longer than that.
Was it really? I thought it was like November. Might have even been like October then.
Yeah.
Is there Animal Crossing games supposed to come out this year?
Supposed to.
Oh, it's got Pokemon and Animal Crossing.
Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Metro Prime 4 has been delayed.
Yeah.
And now Retro's working on it again.
Restarting it.
I mean, if it needs to be restarted, I mean, honestly, in some ways it sucks. That's probably good news.
Yeah. And you know what they should do? They should say
the
Metroid Prime trilogy is being remastered and is coming out as a stopgap. Like, come the fuck on, man.
Yeah. Fucking do that
Still
shit.
waiting for Pokemon Snap 2.
Always.
We'll have it eventually.
We're
waiting for that for like what?
Over 20 years.
Yeah, over 20 years.
Close to 20 years now. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It sucks. I mean, I hope all these people find jobs.
Strong.
Find jobs at other studios or hell, make their own.
Yeah, so some people are doing. So a couple
Cool
dudes
stuff
from dudes from Telltale has made his own.
Yep.
Dude started his own studio. I'm like,
who did they join up with? The people that were with Ubisoft, I think. Telltale and some Ubisoft people ended up making their own studio.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was people from Telltale, and there was a couple people from Ubisoft, but not like any big Ubisoft.
Yeah, they might have. I know. Okay, I know. Like, well, no, Skybound or something, but yeah, but they're doing their shit.
All right, let's talk about The Walking Dead just a little bit here.
Not too much, just because it's it's
The Walking Dead. Michonne star Denai Guerrera, to exit may appear in Rick Grimes' TV movies.
Everybody's leaving.
Guerrera, who portrayed Michonne starting the show's 3rd season, will no longer have a recurring role on the show. I swear I'm not drunk. What the hell? She has currently signed to return for her final season, which will comprise a handful of episodes during the show's recently announced 10th season.
Yeah.
It's also likely that Guerrera will join Walking Dead star Andrew Lincoln for the 3 Walking Dead films currently being planned by AMC. I think this is a pretty big deal.
Show's gonna die
because now
you might get an 11. I feel like they're not gonna end it at 10 because it's like, let's just try our bets. So I could see 11 being, or maybe like a 12. I could see it being like 12 seasons and being done.
Because the more of these big players and actors and actresses leave, like, that's just the more that, like, the investment that people made into this show for so long is just gone.
It's the fact that probably, I would argue, since maybe season 4, maybe even 5. Definitely since introducing Negan and the Saviors, they really haven't done a great job introducing new characters for you to care about.
Right.
I'd say, like, yeah, I think the last good character they introduced who was cool. I'm like, all right, I care about you, but it's Jesus, and that's it. He's the last character. Ever since then, it's just like, oh, here's Henry, and I'm like, who cares about Henry?
Did you finish the first half?
I did. I watched it as it was coming out, and I mean, it was good. I mean, it's like, it's the one thing I was super excited because, you know, they're doing new things, but then also at the same time, I'm like, they're being, I don't know, the story was just a little weird. Like, it's like, I'm excited for what they could do, but they're not achieving that. It's really slow. I mean, The Walking Dead's already slow, but it seems like it's extra slow. Because it's just like, they're talking about things, and it's like, oh, this thing happened, and I'm like, what happened? And they just refuse to mention it, and I'm like, stop.
I literally stopped cold turkey after that Andrew Lincoln episode. Like,
yeah,
I haven't watched since.
I mean, they did a good thing. The mid-season finale, the way it ends, was, and also like the stuff, some of the, because I mean, there's no spoiler. They introduced the whispers, and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. But yeah.
I just decided I'm going to watch the show when it comes to Netflix.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed watching this first 5 seasons so much when it was on Netflix because I could watch at my own pace.
Yeah.
You know, if I wanted to watch a handful, I could. You know, because there's times where The Walking Dead's like, fuck, watching this week to week just kind of sucks. But watching 2, you know, and I sit down for an hour and a half and I've watched 2 episodes, that's cool. You know, at times because sometimes it just works better pacing wise. But it sucks that the show was so good, and I just feel like it's really fizzling out.
Yeah,
because all the major stars are starting to leave,
and despite how good his character is, I don't know if Negan could carry the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially
people don't care about him.
People don't care about Negan. Also, especially with they did some with what they did with him towards the end. I'm like, or it depends. Maybe if they do some great stuff with this character this half of the season, maybe it could get good. But I'm looking at his character. I'm like, yeah.
And Daryl's way too lame to carry the show.
Yeah, Daryl's a fucking boring character.
Yeah,
you're fucking wrong if you think he's the best character on the show. Like, I don't care. That's not an opinion. You're
How
fucking
did he
wrong.
become the most popular character on the show?
Because he was a great side character. He's a great stoic side character, and then it's like, let's make him like one of the main guys. Like, we'll give him a more important role. Like, he also just ruins everything. He ruins every storyline he's a part of. Like 100%.
Right.
Especially starting season 6 is kind of where it starts. Where he's just like Daryl, I hate you.
Yeah.
Hate your fucking guts. But
yeah.
It's just that kind of sucks. I mean, granted, it's not like Denai Guerrero needs it anymore. She's got Black Panther and Avengers. she's got that MCU money going for her. She'll be fine. So,
all right, let's talk about some music news, and then we will wrap it up. There's some pretty interesting things happening in the world of music, like big summer tour rumors.
Ooh, who's touring together?
Yesterday, Live Nation announced their Ticket to Rock promotion, which enables fans to see multiple shows at select venues this summer for reduced pricing. They've done this in the past.
Didn't they do this last year?
Yes. Doing a bit of apparent detective work, the PRP has deduced the participating tour lineups, including Slipknot, Volbeat, Behemoth, and Gojira.
That is a weird fucking tour, I feel. That's just...
I think the weird part about that is Volbeat.
Yeah, like
he puts Behemoth and Gojira and Slipknot together, it's like,
I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. And then Volbeat, and I'm like, what the fuck?
So...
They're going to come out and play Johnny Cash after fucking Behemoth comes out and plays Oh Father, Oh Son, Oh Satan. It's going to be a weird fucking day, man.
I would love to see that tour, though, 3 out of the 4 of those bands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially Slipknot.
Oh, yes. Fuck yeah.
Additionally, Korn, Alice in Chains, and Under Oath will apparently be touring together.
That doesn't sound that bad.
No, it doesn't. That's a weird combo, but sure.
It is,
why
but
not? Also, Breaking Benjamin and Chevelle.
That makes sense.
Sure.
I mean, sure. Not really excited for either of those 2 bands.
Rock.
Yeah. So none of these tours are officially announced yet. They did list some venues that are apparently participating, which it looks like the BB&T Pavilion.
Woohoo!
And they also mentioned,
and I'll be all about that shit.
Yeah. So also Shinedown's doing a big summer tour, and then there's the big Slayer tour, and they said that those 2 tours might be participating in this as well. So if we could get lawn tickets to see Slipknot and then Slayer at reduced price,
fuck right.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad
idea.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
and Shinedown.
And Volbeat and Shinedown and Behemoth. That's a stark difference.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty fucking rad.
I love tours. I really miss going to shows all the time. It's just that there's just not as many that are coming around as often that I'm super interested in. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think.
I miss going to 2 shows in a week.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I mean, I'm going to try to go see Children of Bodom in April, which that's pretty cool. And then there's Slayer. I really want to see Slayer. I really want to see Iron Maiden as well this summer.
Oh yeah, Iron Maiden's coming back around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then if this Slipknot tour
is a thing,
why not?
Let's do.
That'd be cool. Tool. Tool's happening, dude.
It's happening?
It's going to happen. Vocalist Maynard James Keenan issued a new update, which says the record will hit streets likely late spring / early summer.
Ooh, okay.
He said midway through mixing, most likely a few recalls, then some arguing, then some mastering, artwork, video, special packaging, etc. Best ballpark guess, release date somewhere between mid-May and mid-July. Which that's the most real the Tool album has been in a long time. So very exciting there.
Man, that'll be a fun fucking time.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to listen to. But it probably won't be on Spotify.
I mean, of course it won't. It's Tool.
Yeah.
They don't believe in Spotify.
Yeah. So As I Lay Dying announced a new headlining tour that's happening in March and April. One of the shows in Memphis, Tennessee has been canceled due to public outcry over the past transgressions of Tim Lambesis.
It's going to happen eventually. But
Tim put out a big old Instagram post saying that
big old Instagram.
He can't undo the biggest mistake of his life, but he's focused on turning around his life and helping others, including prison inmates and those struggling with addiction and mental health issues. And he went through all this stuff. This is taken from Tim Lambesis' post. Since serving my time, I've been involved in the following. Completed all courses necessary to become an addiction treatment counselor in the state of California with hopes of helping others who are struggling with addiction and mental health.
You do that when you're on tour.
Worked for a year as a case manager at an addiction treatment facility. Spent 2 years tutoring inmates who never finished high school. I currently visit prisons quarterly to help inmates without job skills train.
What is he tutoring
for release? I don't know. It is interesting. I mean, he screams into a microphone.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe he did go to college or something, but I don't know. School. How many more times is this dude gonna have to fucking apologize? Like, quit apologizing. Like, you've apologized a couple times. Like, either people accept it or they don't. Like, you don't have to constantly fucking defend yourself. Like, I'll stick up for him in that way. Like, quit fucking defending yourself. You apologized.
People are probably still not gonna like you, and that's
fine. I mean, that's
and some people will totally accept you.
Yeah,
because it does seem like
their tours seem to be doing very well whenever they're doing.
They sold out so many shows on their European tour and their U.S. tour that they did, and I mean, it does seem like he's legitimately trying to do better in his life, in both with himself and others.
Yeah,
I think the more he does that, the better it'll be. And As I Lay Dying, I think they just need to keep trucking along. And
do a few more tours, eventually make a new album, because
right.
people will be fucking hype about that. And then just be a band that tours for the rest of their lives.
I think this is only the second show that As I Lay Dying has been booked at and then got canceled. First U.S. show, I believe, that had that happen. Yeah, we'll see. As I Lay Dying is certainly an interesting thing to watch as things continue to go along.
Although that one, like that first live show they did back, I remember seeing some like footage of that, and Tim sounded horrible.
Really?
I don't know if he's gotten back to his old self, but
I can imagine you don't.
The first song, I think he came out a little too like hot in the crotch, and then he just like screamed himself out like 2 minutes into it. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
this next thing, not the biggest band, but I read this and I'm like, what? These guys? Do you remember the band It Prevails?
Yeah,
they're apparently they're apparently recording new music.
Yeah. Wow, good for them.
I didn't know they're still a band.
Oh, wow.
As long as they have that one
It's the Yeah band.
Yeah.
That's all I know them from. I don't even know what song that's from. I just know they say yeah once in one of their songs.
Yeah. This tour here is probably the meanest tour of 2019. Belphegor and Dark Funeral are going to co-headline the Devastation on the Nation tour with Incantation, Hate, Veil of Nath, and Nightmare. Lots of black metal and death metal and dark shit.
It's like the fucking Edgar Allan Poe tour or something.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Put your fucking corpse paint on and go to town.
Fucking bury your clothes in the ground for a week and then fucking go.
Are they touring around like cemeteries or something?
Yeah,
or is that where they're
Tour around. It's fucking,
Yeah. The opposite of that.
Oh, here we go.
We Came as Romans, Crown the Empire era, and Shapes are touring.
I didn't think they were still a band after the one member died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with that.
Who else is on that tour?
Crown the Empire.
Oh, fuck them.
Era.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. And Shapes. Instead of an A, it's a V. So Shavapes.
Shavapes.
Oh, they try to be all like cult and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
so, there you go.
I'm not going to talk shit on We Came as Romans. I mean, the guy died and everything. That sucks.
Right.
But I'll talk shit on Crown the Empire. That band sucks.
Yeah, they do.
I don't care.
So Ozzy Osbourne has been hospitalized.
I saw that. I'm like, oh no.
Flu complications. They had to cancel their entire European tour with Judas Priest. He's apparently not been doing the best health-wise.
Slow down, man.
I know.
I mean, just you've done it. You've done it all. You can
nothing
stop.
to prove, man.
You don't have to. I mean, how old would he be? Like, he's so close to 70.
Yeah.
Or he is 70 or something like that.
He's like fucking 120 in drug years.
Yeah.
Bro. Yes. He's on the edge.
It's because he's
stopped. On the edge of the earth.
It's because he
should join Volumes.
Oh god.
Ozzy Osbourne. Volumes featuring Ozzy Osbourne.
now picturing him singing "Feels Good."
It feels good.
Sharon.
It
feels
Whoa! Next tour. This is just some weird combos. Avatar, not the movie, the band.
Okay.
Before y'all make that joke.
Okay. Well, I mean, is he the Airbender? The last Airbender?
Ha ha ha.
Aha, gotcha.
Avatar from Gothenburg, Sweden. I think they're from.
Yeah.
They're an interesting
that
band.
Gothenburg in Sweden is pronounced Göteborg.
Really?
Yeah, like they pronounce it differently there than the rest of the world calls it Gothenburg for some reason.
That's weird. They're doing
fucking important fact of the day.
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You do.
They're doing a headlining tour with support from Devin Townsend, who will be doing a...
Devin Brown Bear Townsend?
Yeah. He's only doing an acoustic set. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Dance with the Dead in 68.
Come on. One more.
So, yeah.
Get one more album. They'll be up there. They'll get there.
So, yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Periphery. They put out a new song called Blood Eagle. It's fucking heavy as shit.
I listened to a little bit of that. I'm like, it's the one time I listened to the one dude who I knew from the radio station, Carl. He's like, this shit's heavy. I'm like, well, it's Periphery. I can deal with this. I'm like,
yeah. Dude, that opening is like fucking, oh my god. They're going to put out their new album, Periphery 4 Hail Stan, April 5th. On their own label, not on Sumerian Records anymore. They parted ways with Sumerian Records.
I remember hearing about that a while back. I think we talked about it on the show probably.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I have always felt that Periphery could be a lot bigger than they are. But yeah. Jason Richardson, you remember that guy?
Yeah, he's with Remains, wasn't he?
He has joined All That Remains to replace Ollie Herbert, who
okay. Until he gets kicked out of this band.
I know, right? He's been in Born of Osiris, Chelsea Grum. He did solo stuff, which I don't really...
Was he with All Shall Perish?
No.
I thought he was.
The guy that was in All Shall Perish is in Light the Torch with Howard Jones.
Light the Torch.
I don't know. Look
Josh?
up,
Jason Richardson. What is it?
Yeah, Jason Richardson.
Jason Richardson.
From
the Atlanta Hawks.
You got him. That's him. That's him right there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a disambiguation. Musician.
Last few things here. Legion.
Oh, he was in All Shall Perish.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in there for like a
hot minute.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Let me double check. Keep going.
Yeah, Legion. They're a pretty cool, like technical death metal band. They're really great.
From 2009 to 2010, so probably like a couple months.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he put out their second album that I'm blanking on. I remember now because he did some really crazy
Train.
Yeah.
But
they're putting Legion's putting out their new album, Apoptosis, April 19th. Looking forward to that one. Their last album was one of my favorites of the year. Last thing, this is just more kind of just a interesting thing. Bring Me the Horizon. They're a very popular band. Their last album, That's the Spirit, landed at number 2 on the Billboard. Sold 62,000 records that week. Their new album, Ammo, number 14, sold 16,000. Now, less and less albums get bought every year, but there is a lot of cases of bands selling more than previous.
Yeah.
That's a big
drop.
Yeah.
I mean, the new album's like
more
weird.
pop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I do like Mantra. I mean, that's the one song that I hear on the radio, really, ever. Like, it's catchy, and I can dig this.
It's not bad for what it is. It's just you gotta detach your expectations.
It's weird to like think of this band 10 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Literally, they were a fucking deathcore band.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I was like,
they have evolved significantly, but I think that's just the fan base not really reacting too well to their new stuff. I don't know. We'll see where that goes from here, but I like. Mantra's super catchy. In the Dark, I think it's called. It's not a bad song.
In the Bark.
Yeah.
In the Shark. In the Narc. It's a cop.
I'm trying to think of like a pun on like Bring Me the Horizon, but like fit like a dog into it or something. Like In the Bark. I don't know.
Last thing in this article, the number 1 album in the United States this past week was DNA by the Backstreet Boys. Sold an impressive 234,000 copies.
Wow.
Woo! That's a lot in 2019. That's all.
I mean, Backstreet Boys does have like an older fan base.
Yeah, so that could be it. I mean, I guess
a lot of moms out there getting wet.
It's exactly what it is.
Dude, I get wet every time Larger Than Life comes on.
Backstreet Boys is like, they're alright. I've never really listened to any of their new stuff since they got back together.
See, I think we're going to get to a point in time where we look at the Backstreet Boys and go, you know what, they were alright.
I don't know. I don't know.
They got a couple good songs.
They have a certain fan base that will never like turn on them, but
it's like NSYNC. NSYNC is like, same thing, except a little bit worse. They'll hold JT back. JT's my boy.
Scott Stapp could join NSYNC and replace Justin Timberlake.
It'd be really funny. Now that I think about it. Oh no.
See, I can name a handful of Backstreet Boys songs off the top of my head. I can't really name any NSYNC songs.
It's weird. I can do the opposite.
Really?
When I was flashback like 15 years ago, I was a huge NSYNC fan.
Like you went from NSYNC to Lynyrd Skynyrd to Eminem to Anthrax. What a musical
journey!
path.
What a journey, man! It went from like that to also like listening to country at the same time with my dad to listening to Kid Rock. I think Kid Rock was a split path into listening to hip hop and metal, and then I kind of gave up on the hip hop thing.
Split path.
It was like a choose your own adventure, except I went down both paths.
Kid Rock, choose your own adventure.
Yep.
My name is Kid Rock.
Yeah.
What if there was an actual Kid Rock? Like a rock.
Or a kid.
Yeah.
Or a kid who's made of rocks.
Rock Kid.
Or a rock
that's like a new
made of kids.
superheroes. Rock Kid.
Kid who's made of rocks.
A kid that's made of rocks. Or a rock that's made of kids.
Or like a baby goat.
Baby goat.
Yeah. But it's made out of rocks. Like, but like the Rock when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He lived in Hawaii.
Do you think he shits rocks? He doesn't shit human turds?
I think he shits like he shits like Budweiser.
No, that's Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
No, Peyton Manning shits Papa John's load out of his bunghole.
Papa John's.
Is he still like sponsored by Papa John's
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's sponsored by
after
Papa John's
John said the N-word. I saw an ad. I saw an ad for Papa John's, and they got the CEO or whatever, some like corporate dingus now to be like the guy, and it's like, why are you telling me about pizza? You don't make pizza. Papa John made pizza.
Bring back Papa. Bring back Papa. Thank you, Papa. Thank you.
Put the N word out, spelled out in pepperoni on a pizza or something.
Oh.
Well, he said it, not me. I'm just making fun of the guy.
Oh no.
Papa John Schnatter. That's his name.
Schnatter.
Yeah, Schnatter, I think.
Okay.
Something like that. Schneeder.
Fuck Papa John's.
Schneider.
Go to Papa Joe's.
Go to Papa Joe's instead. He's the real Papa.
Yeah.
You're not my real Papa.
What were we talking about?
That's a good question.
Yeah, what's his name shits?
Rock.
Kid Rock, what he shits. Are we talking about Rock?
The
The
Rock.
Rock or Kid Rock? Because they
The
shit
Rock.
different things.
Who's faster, Kid Rock or The Rock?
I mean, The Rock, because Kid Rock's like, he's not old enough.
From what era, like Kid Rock? Like when he was younger?
We're like now Kid Rock, because now, no.
Because The Rock
let's
has a
do,
lot of
like-
muscle on him.
Let's do like ball with the ball, Kid Rock, like badass Kid Rock.
Can he like drive a car or something?
No,
Is he in a plane?
no.
Is he in like a train?
He's maybe in like a
What a razor
On, like, a
scooter?
skateboard.
kangaroo pouch.
So it's the kangaroo, not him.
Yeah.
His mind is controlling the kangaroo.
The Rock, because Kid Rock doesn't have that healthy of a mind. Like his mind is in that good a shape that he would be controlling the kangaroo. He's out of shape mind. His brain
It's
isn't
a very good
conditioned. he's smoking crack and like drinking Kid Rock.
All right,
.com.
there we go.
Go to kidrock.com.
You heard it here first. Kid Rock and a kangaroo is not faster than The Rock.
Hit the button. Thanks for watching or listening.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
See ya.